What's up, everyone? I want to talk about the 5 things I've learned about buying knives on the secondary market online. Um, this is primarily, well, it really applies to buying used knives from private parties online. Okay, I know that there are, and some of these things may apply also to sites like Arizona Custom Knives, Slice, where it's kind of a consignment type online store where you would send your knife in and they would take pictures and then they would post it and stuff like that. So some of these may apply to those as well, but not all of them. It's primarily around buying from private parties online, from Facebook, Instagram, um, Blade forums, things like that, right? So that's really what I'm talking about here today. So the first thing I learned was always ask for more pictures or video of the knife that you're buying from the seller. Oftentimes, they're going to put in 2 or 3 pictures of the knife that they're selling. And I think it's a good idea, and I always try to ask, and again, some of these may apply to certain knives, some may not, right? The higher end you go, the more that these apply. The $20 or $30, knife that you might buy, the Kershaw Blur or the Spyderco Tenacious or something like that, these rules might not apply. But when you're talking about $1,000 knife plus, I think it's totally valid and fair to ask for more pictures. Ask for a little video clip that they can make. Ask them to take it outside and do it in natural light because maybe their kitchen table isn't that bright and you have a question. Feel free to ask questions. I've sold a lot of knives online. I've bought a lot of knives. And all the ones I'm going to show here today are ones that I bought sight unseen online. Okay, this one included. The second thing I've learned is if it's not somebody that you have dealt with before, feel free to ask for references. On Instagram, you can just post up, hey, I'm doing a deal with Dirk Warning. Anybody have any bad stuff to say? Or anybody got any good stuff to say? I mean, I might not do that with a YouTube person, but a private party person, sure. If you're not familiar with them, or they're new to a Facebook group, they've only been in that group for a couple of days, and here they are selling $500, $600, $800, $2,000 knife, yeah, you might want to do a little bit of research. Okay? That's always a good idea. The third thing I learned is, and this also applies to sellers, but be willing to ask for a payment plan. Say, hey, I've got $500 now. Can I give you $200 on Friday when I get paid? I mean, that's okay to do. I've done it. I've asked them to hold it for me and say, hey, I don't have the money right now, but I really want this knife. After you've gone back and forth a little bit, could you hold it till I get paid on Friday? I mean, that's not always going to work. You have to kind of feel your way through that. If it's somebody that you've been talking to online for a while about just general stuff, and they're kind of an online friend, if you will, feel free to do that. It might work. It might not. I have done that. This particular knife in particular, I mean, I paid for it and bought it all at one time, but it was somebody who had it that just posted pictures of it. And I sent him a message, said, hey, if you ever go to sell that, let me know. I'll take it. It was a year later he reached out. And I said it a couple of times throughout the year. But a year later, he goes, hey, I'm ready to get rid of that bodega if you're still interested. I said, sure. How much? Whatever. And then we worked out the deal. So don't be afraid to offer that. Don't be afraid to offer partial trade. Hey, I'll give you $500 plus this other knife or this other watch. And a lot of these rules apply to watches, knives. They're kind of general things, you know. The fourth thing I learned is talk about shipping. Even if people say, hey, it's, $500 and that includes shipping. You as the buyer have the right to ask them how they're going to ship it and to understand that they're going to use the slow boat from China and you're going to get it in a month. Or you can talk to them and say, hey, I know it's $500 free shipping. Would you, do UPS second day and I'll pay you a little difference? You as the buyer, it's your money. Ask them how they're shipping it. Have that open and frank discussion. If they don't say it, oftentimes they're going to put in their ad or their description, hey, it's UPS overnight shipping. It's, priority USPS, but talk about that stuff. Some of these I got, like this one I bought from a guy in California. I live in California. I got it the next day just because that's normal shipping here. From Southern California to Northern California, priority USPS is just one night. This one, I asked, and said, hey, would you cover UPS overnight priority shipping? And he goes, yeah, but I won't cover the insurance. I said, no problem. I'll cover the insurance. So I paid a little extra to cover the insurance because it was important to me to get this one overnight. The least amount of time in shipping when you're spending a lot of money on a knife is preferable. So you as the buyer, if they're not talking about it with you already, bring it up and ask how they're shipping it because I think it's important. And you may not want to pay extra for overnight shipping, and that's okay. But at least you know. And I think you should have a frank and open discussion about insurance. And that's a whole different topic, the insurance thing. Is it worth it? Can you file a claim easy enough? All of that stuff. That's a whole different ballgame. But have an open discussion about shipping. The fifth thing I've learned about buying on the secondary market is the deal's not done until you're both happy. And this, I think, really holds true a little bit more to the shipper. This could be a 5 things I've learned about buying and selling, and it does apply to both. And I will do a 5 things I've learned about selling online because there are some other distinct things that I think we should talk about. But it's not done deal until everybody's happy. So just because I get a knife in, I got a knife in the other day. I wasn't super happy. It was part of a trade deal. And it was a trade plus cash. I got a knife in. I shipped 3 knives to a guy. So it was, basically, it was a trade deal. It was X plus this knife plus X number of cash. So I got the knife in that he traded me, and I wasn't happy. But he he was pretty honest with his explanation of the knife before we did the deal. And I don't even know if I can fit all of these on the screen here without having a problem. But he was super accommodating. So I reached out to the maker, said, hey, I just got this from this guy. It's a brand new knife that he had had for about 3 days, and then he traded because what I was selling was more exciting to him than what he had just bought. I asked the maker, I said, hey, I got these couple of problems. Can I send it to you to take a look at? And he said, sure, no problem, send it over. All right, cool. So I told the seller, buyer, the other person that sent it to me, I told him, hey, I'm not happy, here's the deal. And he was super accommodating. Like, he instantly said, hey, I'll just ship your stuff back and we'll call it a day. I said, no. I told him I reached out to the maker. The maker's going to take a look at it. Once it's all sorted out, I'll let you know what's happening. Literally 10 minutes later, he just sent me some extra cash and said, here you go, that should cover all the shipping and whatever. And if the maker charges you money to fix it, let me know and we'll talk about it. So the deal's not done until the buyer and the seller are happy. And that really applies mostly to the seller. For how I do it, I don't spend the money until the buyer gets the knife or the watch or whatever and is happy with it. Then I spend the money because I want to make sure that nothing goes wrong. So there you go, guys. These are 5 things I've learned about buying secondary online. Let me know what I missed down in the comments because there are more than 5 things to learn. Let me know your thoughts. Probably you guys all knew all these things, but maybe not. So let me know your thoughts down below. And yeah, that's it, guys. Stay tuned. I will do another 5 things I learned about ... here soon. I've got some other ideas. So stay tuned for those and have yourselves a fantastic day. I appreciate your time. We'll see you tomorrow.